Welcome back to another episode of the Hooligans Pitch, episode 108. Hooligans, welcome back. Chad, what's going on?
It's good to be here. I'll let people in on a little secret. We had an episode last week that did not go to plan.
We recorded episode 108. Well, when I say recorded, we talked for 40 minutes, then realized we didn't record nothing. Great talk, high energy, happy on both sides. Let me tell you right now, it will not be happy on both sides. Chad, you know they say to wear black when you're going to the funeral. We didn't plan this. We both have our black kits on, but I think we're going to not Arsenal's funeral, but I'll be honest, Chad. We're pouring a whiskey today.
It's that serious.
It wasn't a good weekend for us. It felt like the world was crashing down on Liverpool, and we have to accept where we are, 8th in the table, I believe, as we're recording this podcast. I can't tell you the last time we were 8th in the table this deep into a season. It feels like 8 or 9 years ago.
Yeah, probably. I think
maybe when Klopp came.
I was gonna say, yeah, maybe Klopp's first season. I know was, has to be expected. Rocky when new manager steps in. But yeah, I think it has been that long since you've operated that low. But
so let's talk about it.
Well, hang on. Let me pour a drink first.
Oh yeah, pour it, top it off. Join me in the sorrows and tribulations that we're about to go through. What are you having, by the way?
Well, look, if you were here in person for the pod last week, it's the same thing. Voodoo Ranger,
yes.
Juicy Haze. I'll do my promo again. Stanley has a collaboration with Arsenal and some other teams to make some cups. So I got this and another one. Christmas coming up. If you got a gooner in your family, I don't know. Check out Stanley.
I would love to say use promo code Hooligans Pitch, but we don't have that yet.
Hooligans Pitch. It might work. It might.
You could try it. You could try it. Try it.
Yeah. It's worth a shot.
I'm drinking Uncle Nearest whiskey out of Tennessee. I only drink this on special occasions, by the way, and tonight just felt like it was the one. Because Liverpool took on City, it has been a slugfest in the past, and this year was quite different from all the rest. Biggest defeat we've had against City in a while. No Mo Salah goal in the last 5 seasons.
Wow.
Yeah, that one is like pretty shocking. Pep shut Salah down. But more importantly, I think the mentality of Liverpool going down 2-0 when it should have been 1-1 going into halftime. That's what broke us. And the way it happened in ways where we have been on the other side of this and it's gone against us, and it's happened to City and it's gone right for them in arguably worse spots with the same referees.
Yeah.
Make it make sense, Chad. Okay, here's what I need you to do. Mm-hmm. Tell me why that goal shouldn't be allowed.
Well, okay. So if we're saying it's not allowed, you would argue that Robertson is close enough to Donnarumma to affect play, right? Whereas, Donnarumma's
keyword. Keyword. If I can just add it to could affect play.
Could, yeah. I think that the real verbiage is makes a significant action, or something like that. So. But yeah, Donnarumma, is focused on where the ball is or where he thinks it could be, and then I guess the argument is that Robertson is close enough in his field of view, ducking, which could distract Donnarumma because he doesn't know if he's ducking to head the ball or out of the way. That's what they say.
I'm great, perfect. I'm gonna stop you there. Did it look like Robertson had any effect on Donnarumma?
I wouldn't say so. It looked like I mean, I'm sure Donnarumma is like cognizant of someone there, right? But I don't think I saw anything in his movement to try and save that ball of it affecting that, right? Like he could clearly move to that side of the goal to try and stop that. I'd say he even moved in an appropriate amount of time. Like there wasn't a stutter of where's this ball going. It looked like any other attempted save would be, right?
He didn't flinch when he saw Robertson in the way. He was. I mean, only Donnarumma knows if he saw Robertson, honestly, because his focus was on the ball drifting across body, and Robertson is essentially away from where the ball was when it was hit, and then it went towards Robertson. This is where it bugs me, though, Chad. Robertson wasn't near touching that ball. He was getting out of the way. How many times do we see players getting out of the way of a ball being shot? And you know, despite being offside or not, but at least the keeper isn't affected by it. And then if we go back a year for when the Wolves played City, and Bernardo Silva is literally digging his butt into Jose Sa, and then leaves him, ball gets hit almost close to Sa, and Silva ducks to get out of the way, and he's literally standing in front of Sa, and that goal stands. Like, just having those two side by side, maddening, crazy.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it just happened to Liverpool in the Champions League against Atletico Madrid when the ball was shot, and I believe it was Griezmann, who was miles offside, did affect Alisson's decision on where the ball was going to go, because he was trying to peek around him, trying to look, and then it's a goal, and they say, nah, he didn't have any impaction on that goal. And it's like, what are we doing? So that was just the biggest buzzkill. If that game, and this is where people are saying, well, Liverpool still lost 3-0, it would have been 3-1. BS. I call BS on that so hard because of how mentally exhausting that was for them to see that goal get taken away, and then probably seeing it at halftime, and then just being like, like, if that's what we have to go through today, like, there's no way we're winning this game, which sucks. I hate that attitude, but I don't really blame them.
I mean, yeah, I think it certainly has an effect, right? Because you already had a Haaland penalty saved, so momentum was kind of swinging. Yeah, he grabs a goal, 10, 15 minutes after that. But then Liverpool grabs their goal pretty close after that, right? Or would-be goal. So I think there is that mental swing of, like, oh shoot, we gave up a penalty. Cool, we saved it. We're back in. Okay, he scored. That sucks. But then almost immediately, I don't remember what time, but it felt pretty close. Virgil gets the would-be goal, and I think it was at such a at least close enough proximity to all that happening that I think that momentum was kind of pushing Liverpool's way. I don't know if I could say it would totally change the outcome, but I think certainly it stays more competitive throughout.
It's a totally different game, because then you're setting up as you're 1-1, and when it was even, Liverpool was being possessive. They were being attacky. It wasn't anything where I was feeling dire about how this game was going to go. Even after the Haaland goal, I was like, okay, we got to play a little differently now. But, like, this game is still on. And then, of course, when Virgil scored, I was like, oh, game on. Like, now, like, here we go. What a momentum boost for the team. Virgil was pumped. And then, he kind of smiles, too, and the goal is disallowed. And Robertson, you probably saw his face, was like, it was almost like he knew it was him, but he didn't realize how little it was him. Like, I think he thought he had so much more of an impaction on what had happened, but really it wasn't that much.
Yeah, I wish we could see his reaction to seeing the replay.
Right.
Because, yeah, I'm sure it's similar to this. It's just like a little bit unbelievable. Like, that is the thing that we're calling a significant action or whatever phrasing they use. But yeah, I mean, it is a huge moment in the game that I think at the very least just keeps Liverpool more focused and competitive, and you're not having to maybe force it so much or try to force it as they kind of, I felt like, did at a certain point, right?
Yep. Because we felt like we had to.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, PGMOL is going to get a notification from Liverpool. If not today, it already happened. I'm sure we're going to get the apology that we rightfully deserve and say whoop-de-doo, like, cool, man.
Yeah.
Like, wish we could go back. What, are we going to replay this game? Wish we could.
That's the thing.
It's like, what's the point? What's the point?
I get, like, submit a complaint or something, but again, this reffing group does not change, right? The personnel does not change. They don't really adjust how they ref. Sure, they bring in some new rules here and there. Sometimes they stick around. Sometimes they're there for the first 5 games and then they forget about it, right? So
it just doesn't. That goal specifically is just another one that just doesn't make sense because. Like you said, I got my receipts out. I literally had those. I went to my desktop screenshots and it was just like a couple up, and I was like, there it is.
Yeah.
Like I saved these because I knew it would come up again.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's just mind-boggling. And I know we're very specific on the teams we watch, but I swear no one else goes through this type of goal disallowment or allowment more than Liverpool.
It does feel. I mean, yeah, like
it's hard to know.
Maybe other teams have it happen, but it seems like even amongst all our football friends and family, there's a wide breadth of teams that have support, and it does always seem to kind of be Liverpool in this situation.
Well, and we're on Reddit and Instagram and seeing the highlights, and if a highlight that happens, we pay notice to it, we're going to talk about the Newcastle Brentford game and how atrocious that was too. So it's not like we're, of course we're biased and going to see our games over others, but at the same time, when something this significant keeps happening, it's very easy to just be like, oh, add it to the notebook, add it to the tally because it happened again.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of people who say this goal should be disallowed. Their argument is kind of like, oh, well, if it was your team, you would want it to be disallowed. Sure, because then my team isn't down a goal, right? But that doesn't make it the correct call.
It looked like most of the internet disagreed with the call that was on the field.
I think so, yeah.
And rightfully so. Again, I want the game to be right, just like how Marmudashvili foul. It was a Doku going into the box for the first PK. Was it soft? Absolutely. Was it? It was so soft, but it was a PK. And I agreed with that decision. And then, of course, the block was just chef's kiss, ball don't lie moment. And then, of course, a goal happens shortly after. But I want the game to be officiated correctly. And this was just another... I hate talking about the refs and how they can dictate the game, but it was just a bummer of a moment because it was Michael Oliver up in the booth again, who... is on Man City's owner's payroll, by the way.
Yeah.
He got 20 G's last year for reffing a game in Saudi Arabia. So I don't know. It's shocking. It's just I don't know how that's allowed. I don't know how the PGMOL feels good about this and the accountability of where they're getting the refs. So
that's what I'm saying though, is for as long as we've been watching, I feel like the ref pool has mostly been the same, and if anyone has left that, it's basically been through retirement, except for the only one I know of is
Coot,
yeah. Who, he had some other things going on, but for the most part, it's always that same group, right? I feel like almost teams bring in players over the off season, the refs should have, and maybe there is, but should have some way of bringing up championship refs and getting them up to speed for Premier League, and I'm sure there is some pipeline like that, but why do I feel like we don't see anyone come from that and take over that center ref role? It's always the same guys, and now we have Michael Oliver taking money from club ownership, even though it may not be directly from City, but I mean, that's getting way too close for a conflict of interest. So, and you just there's so many of the refs you see where it's like consistently they call games weird or make bad calls for specific teams. Maybe that's all coincidence, but
Just you raise an eyebrow.
yeah, exactly. I just feel like there's got to be a little bit more. There's got to be a wider pool that they can utilize and not have Michael Oliver always end up on a Liverpool Man City game, right?
Yeah, why is he always there all the time? So
money talks.
So just add another tally to last year. Was it last year? Doku and McAllister? No, it was 2 years ago now. I don't remember what the controversy was last year with City and Liverpool. There was probably something, and it's just not coming
I think so, yeah.
to the top of my head. Well, it's just another one. Just add it to the list. And my favorite thing right now that I'm seeing, Chad, is all the PGMOL images they're using for their rule books, and it's always like a Liverpool City tackle that they're like, this isn't allowed, but like in the game they allowed it, and it's like, okay, that's pretty messed up.
Oh yeah, perfect.
It's like, you can't do this. Well, in our game you could.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to be realistic. Sitting 8th in the table, seeing the teams above us, seeing where Arsenal and City are at right now, I got to be honest with myself. We're not on that level right now. We're not a title winning team at this point in time. Would love some slippage from you guys, which, hey, we'll talk about it. You kind of gave us an opportunity this weekend, and to be fair, City seized it, grabbed it, and now I think Arsenal has City to worry about. And now we're right where we were again a couple of years ago, where City's going to be chasing Arsenal, and I'd argue Arsenal's way more scared of City than Liverpool at this point.
Yeah, I think definitely at this point. I mean, the fan in me, I think, is always like aware of what Liverpool can be if it all does click, right? So it is almost a little bit of that kind of sleeping giant
Love it
vibe. But I mean, yeah, currently it's, I think Arsenal's probably only looking directly below at City as their only proper challenge. Chelsea's up there, but they're kind of been a little wishy-washy, I'd say. But yeah, I mean, I guess to jump into the Arsenal game, like I was cautious going into this game because it's a Sunderland team that is performing much better than anyone expected them to in their first season back and however long it's been. And I think they said they haven't lost at home since May. So at home they're great, and they showed that again, right? It was very physical game. I think a little bit past what should have been allowed at some points, but
oh yeah, I mean, we could talk. I remember specifically Dan Ballard grabbing Eze's neck and nothing.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, maybe potential after the head red card coming. It's like, play on. It's like, okay, cool.
So there's certainly some questionable reffing here as well. But I think Arsenal played it well. I think they first half they were maybe kind of shocked how physical it was and how up for it Sunderland was going to be. But then second half, I think they tweaked enough and were moving the ball a lot better, a lot quicker. So it wasn't so many of those opportunities to get stuck in on tackles and stuff. So yeah, I mean, a lot of the talk has been about the free kick foul that was called on Zubamendi. Mm-hmm. I have no issue with that call myself, personally. It's the no call right before that of Xhaka taking the ball off Eze. He more or less does the same foul, but gets less of the ball. It was not called. And then this one's called, and yeah, it results in a goal, and that's where like people are up in arms about it. But like, that free kick's from like 70 yards away from goal. Like, that was just bad defending, you know. Rice doesn't get up well to defend the initial header. I think it was maybe Gabriel or Saliba, I forget who. On the second ball, they missed that, and then, you know, it's just Ballard takes his chance, which, you know, credit to him. He's big defender up
He's
top.
a big boy.
You know, if you see it, take it, and you know, so he did. Good for him. But yeah, I have no issue with that. It's just the initial no foul call that I think was really the issue. But then yeah, Saka gets us back in the game. You know, Rice, I think, probably realized his mistake a little bit there, so chases down well and gets the ball to Saka, and gets a tidy goal. And then yeah, it kind of felt like, you know, Arsenal was starting to assert their control a little bit more. Like I said, just like better passing, better off the ball movement, and Trossard gets that nice curler from the top corner. You think that's going to be the winner.
Told him to shoot it, and he did, and he ripped it, man. He just got that great kind of shimmy and then cut, and then had loads of space to just absolutely blast it. Yeah, no, that was an excellent goal.
Yeah, and you know, I think probably should have been a winner, but I think post that goal, I think Arteta failed on the substitution front, because Sunderland was, you know, rightfully pushing to get a goal back, and like I want to say the last 20 minutes was pretty much Arsenal just clearing the ball, but not even well, and you know, Sunderland coming right back. So you're just, it's the same as, you know, like early Liverpool games where people are calling it luck, but Liverpool was that side of just like keeping the ball down there, keeping the pressure down there.
You're giving us the opportunity, and I agree with you. I thought Arsenal wasn't making the best decision of just booting the ball away and just letting Sunderland then control it. I was like, why aren't you trying to possess it and try to at least maybe even think about scoring again? I understand there's always the potential threat of countering, but Sunderland isn't the biggest countering team. I mean, their goal at the end wasn't necessarily a counter, but Arsenal to me shouldn't be the type of team that's letting other teams control the pace of the game, right?
Yeah.
And they decided to do that here, which is strange because I feel like they haven't done that all year.
Yeah, and I think, like, I mean, obviously Arteta has always kind of trusted his starting 11, probably to a fault, right? Where he's going to keep those guys out there because he knows what they can produce. But in this case, this was the third away game in the week. Like, people are tired. There's been, you know, significant travel in there. You got plenty of capable players on that bench. You know, I would have personally liked to see, I like the Mosquera, you know, pull him in there, just shore up that back line, but I think that midfield needed help. I wanted to see Miles Lewis-Skelly come in, because him on the ball, he's so good at like receiving the ball on the turn and just dribbling. Like we've seen him do that in Champions League, we've seen that do that in Premier League plenty of times. Just like someone to keep the ball, really. You know, just give the defense a little bit of break, try and maintain some possession. I don't necessarily need you to run all the way down the field and, you know, try and get a goal from it, but yeah, I think tactically and substitutions, I think, were just a real letdown in that last, you know, fourth of the game, I guess. But yeah, you know, credit to Sunderland. They put up such a fight the entire time. The goal, you know, the tying goal right at the death was, I feel like, the only kind of goal it was going to be something crazy, like something not just a typical shot, right? And for what is it, Robbery, I think.
Yeah, Brobby.
Yeah, he you know, to put his foot out there and hope for the best, and you never know what's going to happen.
Got it right. Got it right.
So, you know, yeah, credit to them. It was an exhausting game to watch, but like, it had I think just a special kind of feel to it, because it was kind of that underdog taking it to the top dog kind of vibe.
As a neutral, I enjoyed all of it. Had that little feeling in my tummy that they were going to score at the end. Kept going, like, like they're giving opportunities. The opportunities are coming. But Chad, I want to talk about the new meta possibly coming into play here. Mm-hmm. Advertisement boards inching their way closer to the field. Interesting strategy by Sunderland. Can't say it really worked or didn't work. I understand you can't get a long throw in or a long run up to throw in. We saw images of their game last week and where the billboards were compared to this week. Can't deny that was done on purpose. I'm curious now if the league take notice of this and says, okay, we need to take in player safety, right? We can't have players running into these billboards on the sidelines, and of course the sidelines are a little bit different than the touch lines, but still we need to now set a standard if teams are going to be outsmarting other teams in where they place these things. So I'm curious about how long this stands, if we see this again, if other teams start replicating this, because we got to admit, pretty smart.
I think a little bit funny to do it against Arsenal. I don't feel like our long throws are like overly threatening. If anything, I feel like Sunderland's long throws have been great.
That's what I was kind of thinking too. I was like, this feels self-punishing in a way. It's taking away what could be your advantage, but hey, you know what? Like, that's fine if you think Arsenal's going to use it. If it was Brentford, I would totally understand. That's all they do.
I thought it was funny. You take away any potential advantage you can, right? And while Arsenal's long throws haven't been good, it is turning into a little bit of like a set piece light kind of moment, right? And Arsenal on set pieces has been great. So you make that more difficult. Coincidentally, the boards got closer. Of course they're not confirming it was because of any specific reason, but
no way.
I kind of love it. I kind of am down with, especially like a newly promoted team, to do whatever the heck they got to do to try and stay up.
Hey man, whatever you got to do to get into Champions League. Come on.
Right? Like, you're up here now. I mean,
you're here to stay. They're going to stay.
For sure.
Again, super fun to watch as a neutral. I think it gave us an idea that Arsenal maybe isn't going to be superhuman. Again, 102-year record of 8 games and a clean sheet, 8 games in a row with a clean sheet, and we knew that was the jinx of the week, right? Of course, we knew that was going to end. So of course, when Ballard scores that goal, first thing I thought of was like, well, we talked about this on the unrecorded episode, and we nailed it. I called the draw on this one. I'm sorry. Just everything about it said draw. I believe Arsenal could start another streak of clean sheets. And your injuries have kind of hit your team here pretty hard. And you're gonna see a bounce back soon.
I mean, that's what I was gonna say. Is like, of course, I'd love to take the 3 points here, but a draw is not the worst, considering, big key injuries up front. Third away game in a week, so added fatigue there. You just came off a stretch of 8 games of clean sheets, giving up hardly a shot in most of those games. Like, you're still operating very well, regardless of the injury issue up top. And it looks like a lot of them will be, or are at least pushing to be back after this international break. I'm not worried. I think it will be interesting though to see other teams go to Sunderland now, because I think Arsenal is the first like top team, big team to go over there.
Okay.
So we'll see if teams kind of learn from, I guess, Arsenal's mistake of letting them pile on the pressure at the end there, or they're going to learn to take long throws without a run up or something. I don't know, but it's again, happy for Sunderland. I want them to make another season of Sunderland Till I Die of this season, because I feel like that would be really cool to round that out. I don't know that that's happening or will happen, but yeah, not really worried, I'd say. I feel like 4-point lead on City going into this international break. It's a good spot.
You can't complain about that. The next team I want to give flowers to, Chad. Wild where we started and crazy where we are now. Aston Villa beating Bournemouth 4-0. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it was 8 games ago. Mm-hmm. This team had 0 points, 0 goals, 3 losses to start the season. And now, we'll call it 4 points back from second place in the table, figuring things out, beating Bournemouth, which Bournemouth was in my top 4 this season. Yeah. Pretty wild change of events over there. I mean, I don't know who necessarily will get the major credit. Again, we talked about Emmy in the unrecorded podcast being this wild card. You never know what you're going to get. And he goes 1 week of doing just something so stupid to the next week saving PKs and keeping a clean sheet. This team, in theory, on paper, looks nice. Yeah, balanced, has some depth, has some substitutions that can come in and clean up. Are they at their ceiling right now? Maybe. I feel like 6 is maybe their ceiling. I just can't believe where they started, and they could have just thrown in the towel and said we're so screwed, and they've figured it out. And I feel like after this Bournemouth win, this was kind of for me at least, the test. I mean, like, are you serious? Is this streak real? And I'm like, okay, yeah, no, it is. They've come in here, they've beat some teams, they beat City, lost to Liverpool, but they're showing they can at least hang around this top 5, top 6 area. And it makes you wonder, if they didn't screw up those first 3 games, where could they be? I mean, they drew Newcastle, who is awful right now. Okay. They lost to Brentford, which Brentford in the beginning of the season was a shell of themselves. They lost to Palace, and Palace was super hot coming into the season. A draw against Everton, a draw against Sunderland, who was down a man. You take those 5 games and you give them 2 wins, a draw, right? That puts them give them 7 points right now, 25 points. They're sitting second. So they got to be kicking themselves with the way they started this season. I think that's the bogey team now. I think that's the team. If you look at the top 10 and who you're scared to go into and see, Sunderland's up there, but I think Villa's next.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean,
have y'all played him?
No, I don't think so.
December 6th.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I feel like after that opening to the season, like, I don't know, I kind of wrote him off, honestly.
I said my prediction is way off, and now I'm like, man, my prediction is off, but in the wrong area.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're probably at their ceiling right now. I mean, just looking at their goal scores, still Ollie Watkins just on 1 goal.
That's not great.
Morgan Rogers at 1 goal. Above them, you got Matty Cash with 2, Daniel Malin with 3, and Emi Buendia with 3. Which, like, if those are the guys that are going to get you goals, cool, play them. But, like, you're going to need more goals and more consistent scorers, basically. So, I think that they're certainly, like, found their footing in the season. It's funny to, like, talk about Bournemouth kind of falling out, but, like, they're on level points with Villa right now, right? It's like, but 5th through 9th is all on 18. So while there's variation in form there, like, so many of these teams are still so close to being, in top 4, top 5. So, it kind of, Villa's become an interesting team to watch now because of, like, I don't really know what changed. I guess, they got Onana back. That's certainly big.
Stability of Emmy. That was a big one because he was rumored to be out of there and wasn't around the first couple games.
Yeah, I remember that now. So yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, I think too, being in Europe is probably weighing on them a little bit. I don't think their squad is deep enough to really push too hard into that. But yeah, I mean, they're certainly one of the teams in better form right now. Bournemouth, on the other hand, kind of started to stumble. I hope they can maybe take these 2 weeks and rejig some things and find some stability again, because I'd love to see them up there too. They're fun to watch, and I'd rather see some newer teams up at the top than the normal top 6, even if that means that
hey,
some of these big names gotta go. I'm not naming any names.
I'm not saying nothing.
Yeah.
Well, it's a perfect segue because Bournemouth plays West Ham next week. I'm sorry, when we come back from international break, and West Ham now. We have our eyes on you. You're 2 in a row. I don't want to buy it. I'm not buying it yet. Right? No. But if you come in next week playing Bournemouth at home and you beat them, that makes me question everything. Is Bournemouth real? Has West Ham just been a shell of themselves this whole season, and now they're about to go on a run? Because arguably, say West Ham gets 3 points out of this next one, and the people above them kind of stick around. West Ham goes from 18th to 15th, just like that, right?
Crazy.
And Bournemouth could arguably fall from 9th to 13th. So that's a big game for both teams. Both are on streaks, and my head is telling me Bournemouth should come in here and take care of business. But again, confidence is brewing over at West Ham. The problem for me is who's West Ham played in the last 2 weeks. Well, Burnley and Newcastle. And Newcastle is, we can say they're looking like one of the worst teams in the league right now, which doesn't make any sense. But that's just what we're seeing.
Yeah. Certainly some positive signs there. I mean, if you care about XG, it's certainly getting better for West Ham. 1.7 against Newcastle, 3 even against Burnley. So people are the team's figuring out where to find the shots and where to create. I don't know if I'm not bought in yet. Certainly, like, it's for how poorly they started and still kind of look. I'm not ready to say they're back.
It's not pretty. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's still plenty of room for improvement. But again, who's going to be the standout for you? How are you going to stay consistent? The goalkeeping is still a huge question mark. Areola to Trafford. I'm sorry, not Trafford. Hermanson. So again, I don't believe in West Ham. I think Bournemouth will handle them next week. It's just you see these teams who are just on these epic losing streaks or just terrible runs, Liverpool included, and you just question what went wrong? Why is this happening this way? And this is where I kind of want to jump to Newcastle, because looking at their schedule, who they've beaten, and then all on the outside, this is a Champions League team. It doesn't make sense to me, Chad. So I'm going to name you. I'm going to name you the games in the Premier League that they've won. Okay, they beat the Wolves. They beat Forest. They beat Fulham, and that's it.
All pretty poor teams. Okay, couple draws here and there, but the draws were even against teams who I'd argue weren't even anything special. Villa to start the season, who was down a man. Leeds, a Bournemouth draw in the beginning of the season, which was impressive, and then everything else is losses. So
it's confusing to me because they're going into Champions League and somewhat handling business. They lost to Barcelona 2-1, which is
Yeah, fair.
it's a loss, but kind of a win, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just shocked at how far down this team has come when you've really just lost one player in Isak, and you replaced him with kind of the same idea of a player in Wolpmade. That I don't know. That doesn't sit well with me. What is Newcastle right now on the table?
14th. They are
and I don't think
points above relegation zone.
And I don't think they're going up.
Yeah.
They got City next.
Oof. Yeah. I don't think. I don't really know. Yeah. What changed? Yeah, obviously, Isak left, but you brought in a very capable striker who should operate. Yeah, almost the same. Maybe not as speedy on the counters as Isak is, but he's tall. You just throw some crosses into him, and he's getting his head to it for sure.
And he has. He's been finishing these balls too. Yeah.
And I'm just looking through their injury list, and yeah, there's 7 injuries, and Dan Burns suspended now, but none of it is players you should be this bad without. Like, yeah, Anthony Gordon's out, but I don't know. He still has never really signaled to me that he's like such a key player for a team. That's kind of it. Like, Pope is out now. Wisa has been out, but we don't know what he looks like in this Newcastle team anyway. So yeah, I don't really know what's going on. Like, you should have a pretty solid back line. You still got Botman, still got Dan Burn, with Fabian Schär.
Harvey Barnes looked great. He was the only bright spot.
Looked great today, yeah.
In that match.
And even your midfield, you still got Bruno G there.
Tonali,
Tonali, yeah, he's looked great. In spurts, I guess, but it on paper, yeah, they should not be this bad, and I don't know why it's not really working out.
I'm excited to say Wisa come in and see what he can offer.
Yeah,
I think that'll be good. I think not having Schär is a big deal for that back line, or at least a potential problem. It's funny because last year we barely saw Kieran Trippier play, and now this year he's playing a ton. Mm-hmm. And I do question that a little bit. Like, you were very successful last year, obviously Champions League top 4. I think they were playing a mix of Livramento and kind of doing almost a 3 at the back too at times. And that seemed to suit them better. I mean, standing wise, it seemed to be that way. I mean, I rate Trippier as a player. I think he's a solid player. But to me on paper, that's kind of the big difference outside of the striker role. I don't know, man. This team just I don't want them to be this team that makes this deep run in Champions League and sucks in the Premier League. It just doesn't look good. We saw it. No. We saw it happen with Tottenham and Man United and in Europa, and I don't want that to be the same thing in Champions League. They should crash out of Champions League, but if I recall, they're not doing the worst.
No, I think they're doing okay. Like you said,
they're 6th.
Yeah, so see, they're doing fine in Champions League. Yeah, a loss against Barcelona, but a lot of teams are going to lose against Barcelona, right? Big wins also then against Union, Benfica, Athletic Club, and their remaining ones: Marseille, Leverkusen, PSV, and then PSG.
They're probably moving on.
You're probably moving on, and I think top 8 gets the home game in the next round.
I would say they're borderline for that.
Yeah, I think you're close to that though. So weird. I guess maybe like not a direct comparison, but a little bit of that like same like Liverpool energy right now, right? Of like the league is a different beast, but then Champions League, Liverpool just took down Madrid pretty easily. So yeah, I don't really know why they're struggling so much in the league. I'm kind of curious if do they stick with Eddie Howe just if Champions League continues to go well, or do you want someone that can have a team perform well in multiple competitions? Like, do you want to be the one of the top teams? You're gonna have to, right? And maybe that's a coaching issue, a tactic issue. I don't know, but I mean, if Newcastle wants to use this like Saudi investment to be a big team, I don't imagine they want to sit down at not even like the bottom half of the table, the bottom of the table. You're 2 points off relegation zone. Like, you don't want to sit down there that long. And
I think we can guarantee they're going to be bottom after the City game. If they pull points against City, I would be shocked.
Yeah, I mean, West Ham gets a win.
Fulham has Sunderland. Leeds and Villa.
They might still just be out, but I mean, damn, you're knocking on the wrong door there.
Yeah, you in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
That's just a question mark.
But I guess
just a big question mark.
Again, we can dive into more reffing drama if you like.
Oh yeah, let's talk about this one a little bit. So Dan Burns makes contact. Remind me if you can who that was. Thiago? Might have been Igor Thiago.
Yeah.
Made contact.
No, Atara, but yeah.
It was Atara there. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Hits his foot, throws his hands up, goes, "It wasn't me," and everyone knows it's you. Ref pulls out the card, points to the PK spot. Like, we all know. Yeah. Gets reviewed by VAR. VAR says, I don't know. You know what? He made contact with him. He did touch him, but it was minimal. Oh, man. I almost snapped my pencil, Chad.
Yeah.
I hate it. What are we doing? What is this? It was an accident. He didn't mean to. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing now. And so this whole PK rule is it's such a gray area on minimal contact. It's like, well, define minimal.
I mean, I'd argue if we're introducing minimal contact into what constitutes a PK, then I'm not going to butcher his name, but Liverpool keeper's minimal contact on Doku is pretty comparable.
Big Mama,
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty comparable in the minimal contact description, right? Yeah, I mean, that just doesn't even need to be verbiage used.
You know what? We were minimally offside. How about that?
Yeah, right? Like, you can, if we're going to introduce like levels of things and it has to hit a certain threshold now to be a foul, then my God, VAR is going to be so busy dissecting each play now. I'm like, well, that was like a 3 out of 10, so.
The ball minimally hit his hand.
Yeah, you know.
Did it hit his hand? Yes. Did he foul him? Yes. PK. Like,
yeah,
simple, straightforward.
And again, it's VAR should not be there to re-ref a situation, right? Like, I've said it before, and it's totally fine. Like, I think PK should be checked regardless of how clear it looks. Just, it's a significant event that can result in a team taking the lead. So I think that's fair to check. But I don't think, VAR doesn't need to get involved with any opinion or input. You just provide the images and video and angles and all that. And again, here is another, similar to Gyökeres and Pope, that foul, where I don't think there was enough to overturn this. Not enough. Oh shoot! What do they say?
Concrete evidence. It was inconclusive.
I mean, it's not enough to overturn the on-field call, right? Like, if the VAR ref, if you were on fields, you may not have called that. That's fine, but you're not the ref, right? You're literally just supposed to be there to offer assistance on being pictures and video. So yeah, they still need to dial that back. I don't know why they continued to go this way when they've always said they didn't want to go this far. But it just, again, every week or at least every other week, something like this comes up where VAR re-refs a situation that they have no business doing.
We don't need refs. Just call your own fouls. Just play pickup.
Yeah.
At this point, it just doesn't make sense, man. It doesn't make sense anymore on what is a handball, what is a foul. Did he make contact with the ball? Yes, but the follow through was dangerous. It's like, oh my lord, there's just so many different outcomes that can happen, and I feel like we're just going to be playing a weird, safer game. Safer is the wrong word. We want to play a safe game, but a restricted game on what we can do. With these gray areas of rules. And it's funny too, because the red card that Dan Burn got, that play looked like he touched the defender less than the one that the PK wasn't called for.
Yeah, I thought the
same. And so yes, did Dan Burn still foul him? Yes. Sure. But it was just kind of comical because it didn't look that bad on the replay. It almost looked like he did dive a little bit. I'd argue minimal contact was more on that second one than the first one. Yeah, then Nick Pope got a concussion. I read the report, and it said that he didn't remember the incident, so therefore we thought we should take him out. It's like, That's thought? Fair. Like, yeah. Get him out of there. And then there was a rumor, too, that he dislocated his shoulder. So then I wasn't sure if it was a concussion or shoulder issue. But he's out, Ramsdale in. Ramsdale, tough day for him.
Tough to come in. I think probably tough to come into any game, mid-game, but then especially at, like, immediately to defend a penalty, basically.
Yeah, rough.
So, bummer for him, but I think, I don't know, you got to try something new, right? So maybe give Ramsdale a run.
I imagine with the international break, we'll see Pope back. I think if there was a game next week, Ramsdale would probably have a go, but we're just not. Newcastle is in a position where they can't afford, I think, any significant changes, especially at the goalkeeping spot. Despite my I don't want to call it hate for Nick Pope, I just question him. Because everyone sees fantasy and says, wow, he must have been great. And it's like, he wasn't. He was awful. If you know anything about me, I've been a Nick Pope hater for the last couple of years. I refuse to have him on my team because I can't stand the way he plays. If we added more errors to goalkeepers, you wouldn't be picking them.
Maybe we got to do that next year, just so it really highlights the kind of keeper he is.
And if you're listening, you're not going to pick Nick Pope.
Jeez Louise.
What's next?
Can I talk about this Tottenham United game real quick?
Absolutely. I did not get up for it, did you?
Oh, no, absolutely not. But, what a game of two, I guess, like, similar teams, right? Like, yeah, United's been quote-unquote on the up, but I feel like them and Tottenham are kind of similar boats this season of, like...
What are we?
Yeah. Unsure of who they are, how they want to play, what is working, what is not. I mean... It just to see United go up and then kind of just turn off for some reason was interesting. I mean, I wouldn't say Tottenham did enough to like pin them back and cause issue, but United just kind of stopped. Well, I guess United played the game we'd expect them to play, like, you don't know what's happening, right?
What do I do with my hands?
Yeah, exactly. And sure enough, Tottenham get a goal back. Cool. Richarlison thinks he grabs a 91st minute winner.
It's always him, man. He always thinks he has the winner.
He's got to rip that jersey off. Only for Dyche to come in 5 minutes later and say, "Sorry, buddy."
When will he learn?
Yeah. So Opta has a fun little stat about that, actually.
About the shirt off yellow card for Richarlison?
Yeah.
I bet they do.
So it's surprisingly only happened twice. I feel like it's happened way more with him, but only twice. The last time being April 2023 against Liverpool. But Richarlison becomes the first player on record to be booked for excessively celebrating a 90th minute goal, only to see his side concede after it anyway, more than once in the Premier League. So I get the excitement. You think he scored the winner, a late winner. But at this rate, maybe you keep the jersey on. Take it off after the game. That's fine. Just make sure you've secured the win before you go too crazy with it.
I thought he did this with Brazil too, but I
feel like I had a memory of that too.
I'm double checking. He scored a goal. Oh, it might have been an FA Cup game, but it was when he did the pigeon dance.
Oh yeah.
And
that might have been the Liverpool game because
he did it there too.
Yeah, he did it there with Son.
And then and that was from the was it his goal or the own goal that Matip had? Did he actually score that one? I might be getting my games mixed up, but
yeah, I don't remember exactly, but I think there was definitely Matip, like
it was that
really kind of the own goal.
I think it was that game. Yeah, we'll have to go in the history books for that one, but great stat.
But,
I mean,
it's
when
not
will we
one
learn?
you want to own, but it's just part of it. If you're gonna take that risk with time left on the clock, it's not a lot of time. So I get you're hedging your bets there, but man, for it to happen twice in
awkward
2 years, like
will we see a third?
Probably. He seems like that kind of guy.
I don't remember who it was. It wasn't for. I think it was for Nuno. He scored a goal and was going to take off his shirt, but he was already on a yellow, and someone came behind him and grabbed him. Someone needs to do that with this guy. Just like,
absolutely.
Just no, please stop.
And if anything, that might be like the bad luck charm, right? Like maybe the other team sees this and be like, "Whoa, that guy's like really pumped that he thinks he beat us." So then they maybe turn it on even higher for that last 4 or 5 minutes, however much time is left. I don't know. Keep your shirt on.
Well, it's hard to give kudos to Man United for giving up 2 late goals and coming It's like, wow, dude, great job, United. You came back and got the point. It's like, well, you should have never even let this happen.
Should not have been
should have got the point 5 minutes prior.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing impressed by this game. No. I think Man United will show us who they are going on this next little run. Everton has been wishy-washy. Palace could be a challenge. But I mean, if United can say they win both of those games, that makes it interesting. Then they might be sitting top 4, which is just wild. Absolutely. Because I feel like we've just been talking endless shit on them for the last 5 years.
Yeah, you go past the Palace game, and it's against West Ham, then against Wolves. So that's a stretch of 4. Do with the hair might be getting excited at the end of that. I don't know. So
I would love to see the Wolves beat them. It just makes sense.
It does. I mean, for them to get 5 wins in a row, it just doesn't feel right now.
Who would be that 5th team?
Well, it's start fresh, so it'd be one past.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Bournemouth, I think it was. So, look, if you get your 5th win in a row and it's against Bournemouth, I think, well deserved. But again, we'll see what Man United shows up. They're
I got
to place bets on.
all right. Let's end on this. Okay, let's end on this one.
Mm-hmm.
They have a 5-game stretch. United, Newcastle, Wolves, Leeds, Burnley. Right? I would say they win all those. Mm-hmm. City is that 5th game.
Oh. It could happen.
And if, say they lose one in there, Arsenal's right after the City game.
Oh, boy.
So
that's the thing is, you're running out of 5-game stretches. To
get this is the 5-game stretch with City potentially being the 5th. I hope it happens. I hope we get there.
It'd be great, yeah.
It'd be fun.
I mean,
I'll shave my head if they get it. Let's go.
There you go.
They have to beat City. That is the rule, though. They have to beat City to end the 5-game stretch.
End 5 games.
Yep.
Well, hey, get it going on Instagram. You might get some hair care.
That would be
deals.
so funny. I'll message that guy. His hair is getting out of control, though. Insane.
It really is. I
Insane.
feel for him.
All right. Well, I think I'm good if you're good. I was pretty depressed starting this episode. I feel a little better now that I got to shit on some other teams here and there. Yeah. But we go again.
You get 2 weeks to think and hear about it. So
we come back against Forest.
Okay.
Dyche ball. We're ready. See what happens.
Yeah.
Any final words?
No. Yeah, just last international break till March. So, and we power through for a little bit. So that'll be nice.
Ooh, baby. We're on a streak. All right, Chad. Good talk. See you back in 2 weeks. With that, the Hooligans pitch. We're out. Peace.